Try it again.
You got it going again?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, let's see. You on?
All right.
I don't know.
Let me know if you can hear. I was told that the sound went out, so I'm not quite sure what's going on.
I got the volume up. I got...
Nina, if you can hear, text me and let me know if it's on.
Kowalski, can you hear us? Are you on? We had technical difficulties.
Can you hear?
Please type yes. Can you hear us? Please type yes.
Yes, she can hear. Nina's saying yes now. Okay.
Oh my goodness, I don't know what to do no more. It's so frustrating.
It happens. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. We were just going. I don't know. I can go back over the word kingdom. Did everybody get that part, or was that part lost?
Thank you, Kowalski.
Okay. Let's back up over it again a little bit. Basileia, again, is kingdom. When you look that word up, as we're doing in the King Vines here, here's what that word means. It's a primary abstract noun denoting sovereignty, royal power, dominion. That word is again. But let's look at the word denoting. It's an abstract noun denoting sovereignty. So that word denoting sovereignty go together. So what is it saying when it's saying denoting sovereignty? Denoting sovereignty means there it is announcing. It is referring to. It is informing. It intend or it means. It dominates sovereignty. Listen, let's go over it again. Anytime you see the word kingdom, when Jesus says we are to, and this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony. Get it? And this gospel, good news. Good news of what? Of the kingdom. Kingdom what? What does that mean? It means this good news of abstract noun denoting sovereignty or meaning sovereignty shall be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations. Who has this kingdom? We do. Why? Because he said it is the Father's pleasure to give unto you the kingdom. Jesus didn't even say it was the Father's pleasure to give unto you me. He said it is my Father's pleasure. Not pleasure, good pleasure. In other words, he wants you to have what? Sovereignty. Here's another one he wants you to have. Royal power. Here's another one that word basileia means. Dominion. Now, you know what you've heard the word dominion. Do I need to go read it again? In Genesis 1:26, he gave unto Adam and Eve, he gave unto them what? Dominion. It's the same thing. You keep, David said, what is man in Psalms chapter? That you have given him dominion. That's what, when Jesus came, he came to give you back dominion. Again, you cooking me pot roast when I told you I wanted a turkey. Thank you. But I ain't happy with you because that's not what I asked you to do. I asked you to preach the gospel of the kingdom. Question, do you know what that is? The good news of the kingdom. The good news of what? Royal power, dominion. The good news of sovereignty that I have. Yes. You know why you probably don't preach it and teach it to me? Maybe you might teach it, but will you demonstrate it? Because it is supposed to be taught and demonstrated. But most folk can't get past doing nothing but what? Teaching it. I was reading that this week. We need to get back on track of preaching the gospel that Jesus told us to preach. Stop bringing me pot roast when I asked for turkey. And all the guests came for turkey. We have gotten sidetracked on secondary and peripheral issues. And the kingdom has disappeared. The kingdom message has disappeared. We know he died on the cross. That's why, how many more times you need to tell me he died? I heard you the first time. I know he's the one at the door. How many more times you need to tell me he's the one, he's the door? How do I operate in royal power? Preach that one to me. Preach how I operate in dominion. Don't preach it and just don't show me. Preach it and demonstrate it for me. How many times you need to tell me he's the way, the truth, and the life? I mean, if you like most people, if you keep, even Jesus irritated Peter when he said, Peter, you love me? Mm-hmm. Lord, you know I love you. He said, feed my sheep. Mm-hmm. Peter, you love me? Now, come on, you keep asking the person, you keep saying the same old thing to a person, and you wonder why most people fall asleep on us when we're teaching. Mm-hmm. Because you're boring. You done said that a million times, and you don't demonstrate what you're talking about, and you have never explained to me the kingdom. You said, we're all working for the king. Selling hot dogs in the kitchen is not working for the king. Jesus don't need you to sell nothing in the kitchen. He needs you to work on some miraculous power, healing folk, delivering folk, setting folk free, curing diseases. Try that one on. Put the chicken frying away. The pastor might love you. The building fund committee might love you. But, honey, you're bringing pot roast when I ask for turkey. Is it right? Is it wrong? I didn't tell you it was right or wrong. I'm telling you put it away. That you sidetracked. Yeah, but we need this money. You don't understand the power of God. You need to raise money because you ain't doing what God told you to do. Because in the kingdom, it's a mighty poor job, boss man, to ask you to do something and won't give you. You might be acting. That's what some jobs do. They ask you to do more and give you less to do it with. That's what jobs do. Because they're all about making the bucks. Jesus ain't about making no bucks. Jesus. You operating in your church with a job mentality, like your boss, like the creator of your job. But God don't operate like that. God is interested. He's not going to tell you to go heal the sick, not give you the power to heal the sick with. And they don't either asking God to come down here to do it because he told you to do it.
Told you to do it. He gave you the power.
Even Apostle Ron Carpenter was teaching that God ain't going to heal nobody when he told you to go do it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And not only did he tell you to go do it, but he gave you the power to go do it. Get up off of your lazy behind and go do it. Stop telling God to go and you go. He did it already. Yeah. I'm not trying to tell you that's not a part of the message, but I'm telling you that's not the essence of the message. You missed it. Our problem is we spend so much time telling people how to get into the kingdom that we rarely teach them what to do once they get inside. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you still at the door, talking about the door, how pretty the door is. Mm-hmm. But when you get inside the house, there's a bathroom on the left. There's some stairs going up to the top. Listen, when you get up there, listen, this house is so fancy, you ain't even got to say nothing. Just say, come on, lights. Mm-hmm. And the lights automatically come on. Mm-hmm. That's teaching me how to what? Live once I got inside the house. We still talking about the door. Mm-hmm. How fancy the door look. Okay. And you need to get in there. Okay, when they get in there, what they going to do? And who's going to demonstrate and walk and teach them what they should be doing once they got on the inside? Mm-hmm. That won't change your message. Wait, here it is right here. Luke 12:32. We need to get back on track of preaching the gospel that Jesus told us to preach. Just in case you think Jesus didn't say what I just said, look at Luke 12:32. Jesus said, and Jesus is the way in. Yes, Jesus himself said, do not be afraid. You know why you're not doing it? You me tell you why you're not doing it? He answered it to you when he told you, don't be a what?
Afraid.
Afraid. Little flock, for your Father, not me. For your Father has been pleased to give you the kingdom. What? There it is again. Do I gotta go over it again? Your Father has been pleased to give you the kingdom. What is he saying God gave us? Power, royal power, dominion, donating, meaning, intending, sovereignty. God was not expecting for you to let people tell you how it go. God was expecting you to tell people how it should go. But you are afraid. Most people I run into get fearful real quick. Fearful. Afraid to let people know. What you're doing is wrong. I didn't ask for pot roast. I asked for turkey. Sounds good, looks good. But that ain't what God wants. Ain't no need playing with it. You gonna play with it. You gonna come to church. Ain't no need of hanging around there playing with it. Either you in it or you out.
That's right.
Either you can do it or you can't. And if you can't do it, be honest. That's what Jesus said. And I like the way it reads. For your Father. We would have said, Jesus said, he going to give you the kingdom. No, that's not what he said. He said, for your Father has been pleased to give you the kingdom.
Thank you, God.
Let's read it out. Let's read it out in Amplified, just in case you need something to bring it home to you. Because sometimes we like to hear it talk. Luke chapter 12, verse 32, I said. Here we go right here. 12, let's start at 31 to really seal the deal. Only aim at and strive for and seek his kingdom. Not my kingdom, he says, his kingdom. I am the Lord in the kingdom, but even the kingdom is not mine. It's his. This is a man, Jesus. This is why I know Jesus was a human being. You can't convince me that that he wasn't a human being. He said only aim for, we talked about it last week. When you're aiming at something, you have a target and you have a focus. When you're throwing a dart, imagine throwing a dart with your eyes closed. Oh, good Lord, you may not hit the target. I don't want to be the person holding what you're throwing at. He said, only aim for, and that's what St. Matthew wrote to us, Matthew 6:33, said the same thing. Jesus said, only aim. Oh, God, look, verse 30. I got to read verse 30. 12:30. For all the pagan world, you are in the world, but not of it. All the pagan world is greedily, he says, seeking these things, as your Father knows that you need them. See, you're acting like, you're not even a pagan. You just what? Acting like the pagans. Last time I talked to you, your sister-in-law haven't been back when I was saying it's not about clothes, it's not about food. You're acting. See, you're not even a pagan. You just acting like. She ain't been back since because she said, no. This is absolute fact. We need to hear this. When we are seeking all of this stuff, he says, you're acting like the what? Pagans. So you are, not only are you in the world, you are also acting like the world. Yeah. You're acting just like them. He says, I want you to aim for. And I want you to seek these things. And your Father knows. Seeking these things. These things. What are these things? He says it in 29. What you gonna eat? What you gonna drink? Anxious and troubled in mind, upset, excited, worried, and in suspense. He said, for all the pagan world, see, he was not trying to recreate Rome. He was trying, I ain't thinking about Rome. I'm bringing my own kingdom down here. And I want you to focus and aim at the kingdom, he said. What is the kingdom he's talking about? Royal power, dominion, and sovereignty. God is not afraid to share that with us and to let us have that. For all of the pagan world is greedily. That's your problem again. You're fearful and you're greedy. You wake up every morning thinking about me, 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 me. I need a bigger house, need a bigger shoe, need a bigger car. But he says, I want you to aim at and strive for and seek my Father's kingdom. And all these things shall be supplied to you also. Why? Because you can't get the job done in the kingdom unless I supply you the thing that you need. I don't need you fighting for them. I don't need you arguing with your brother and sister over them. I need you to focus, aim, and focus at his kingdom. Because in dominion, when I was sharing the guy yesterday, you don't have to be rich. You have access to the riches. And whenever you need something, bam, you tell God. The government, you call on the government. It ain't no different. See, if you understood government, the United States sends you over to Puerto Rico and won't give you what you need to get the job done in Puerto Rico. I would turn to President Clinton Trump and say, man, you don't know what you're doing. You sent me over here to do a job and won't give me the resources to do it. What kind of president are you? What kind of leader are you? Sent me to do a job and will not give me the resources to get the job done. And then blame me that the job ain't getting done.
Where's the ambassador at?
We don't even want to go there.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And all these things will be supplied. If he don't supply them to you, he just what? Lied.
Mm-hmm.
Do not be sieged with alarm and struck with fear, little flock. Now, that's 12:32.
Mm-hmm.
Can I put my foot up? Let's read this real slow. Do not be seized, because that's what fear does. Right. It seizes you. That's one of the reasons why we're not going, because fear has seized us. It has stopped us and prevented us from moving. Struck with fear, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. It is his good pleasure to let you have his royal power, his dominion. Because why? You're going to get done the things what? That he won't done. What does he want done? That same Jesus showed you when he was teaching miraculous miracles. Miracles were taking place on a constant basis.
Yeah.
Casting out demons. Opening the eyes of the blind. Some folks ain't got a demon because they're blind. Some folks that need the power of God to open. You remember the story Jesus told him? The man, Father, which one? The Pharisees, them religious church folk who have been going to church all their life. Which one of the parents sinned that this boy was born blind? Jesus said, you don't understand. This boy was born blind so that the power of God would be manifested. So what did Jesus do next? Open his eyes. And then they get mad that he opened his eyes on a Sunday.
Thank you.
I mean on a Saturday, on the Sabbath day. And jumps on the parents. And oh my God, this story was so interesting. And it must have been an interesting thing. I don't know the whole background. Some of you that love to study stuff like this and lose sight of the kingdom, you go ahead and spend your time on studying why the synagogue was so important. I don't even care about that. The important part to me is that it's the same thing that man said, I once was blind, but now. And so the parents were so afraid that if they said Jesus healed them, that they were going to be put out of the synagogue. So it must have been an important thing to be a part of you know how folks are. They don't want to be put out of the congregation. Right. So they'll deny
wrongdoing.
Yeah, wrongdoing. They won't tell the truth. They won't speak the truth. So because they want to stay in the in crowd, and it was so important and they knew that folk were going to put them out of the synagogue if they said Jesus. And eventually they had to say that Jesus healed them. And guess what they did to him? Put them out of the synagogue anyway. See, people are going to get rid of you anyway. They're going to let you go anyway. You might as well go ahead and just tell the truth. Yes, Jesus healed me. My son was blind, and now he can see. And this is what the parents said. You ought to read that story. It's very interesting. They said, that's my boy. He's old enough to speak. He's old enough to speak for himself. Ask him. And when they came to him, he said, listen, because they were trying to say, help me, that Jesus was a sinner. And ain't no way a sinner can be opening the eyes of the blind. He had a demon in him. That's what they, ain't no way nobody with a demon ought to have power. And that boy said, whether he be a sinner or not. So that tells me folk will label you as a sinner, but see, don't worry about all that. Just keep opening the eyes of the blind. Just keep healing folks of cancer. Keep doing what he called you to do, and don't worry about it, because they ain't going to ever come on your side.
Nope.
They ain't going to ever see you as right. I don't care about you seeing me as right. I just want to do it.
Thank you.
They're never going to see you as right, because it ain't in them to see you as right, because they don't see him. And God's not interested in you trying to please people. God wants you to please him. And he don't want pot roast. He said, make him turkey. And then you come waltzing through there talking about, I make pot roast a whole lot better than I make turkey. Why'd you take the job? Why you say you're an ambassador? Oh, we're gonna understand the kingdom if you're gonna follow me. We all gonna operate in power. Because hey, help me God. Help me God.
Yeah.
You're going to have to open your book and study this book, because I ain't stopping, because you decide that this ain't for you. The good news that Jesus and John preached, that early church preached, was the good news. I even found out that Apostle Paul preached the kingdom. Most of his epistle writings is life inside the kingdom. But that's why he was saying,
start with Acts.
That's right. When Paul wrote it, I think it was when he says, adulterers and fornicators, and they shall not inherit the kingdom. Because if you can't inherit the kingdom doing these things, they that do these things, he said, shall not inherit the kingdom. What is Paul saying? That you will not inherit basileia. You will not inherit sovereignty. You will not inherit royal power and dominion. And your life gonna be a mess.
Down on the earth.
On this earth, your life gonna be a mess.
You don't get the benefits. You
will not get the benefits if you're going to participate in these things, is what Paul was saying. That's life inside the kingdom. When you get in there, you can't be doing anything. You don't want to do these things because God don't want a pot roast. He wants turkey sandwich. He wants you to live holy. He wants you to dedicate yourself totally and fully to him. I'm not interested in preaching to make you feel good. I want you to operate in power. I want you, because when you learn how to operate in royal power and dominion and sovereignty, you gonna feel good. Royal, not just power. Royal is kingly power. You making the rules. I like the way that man said, how come we always gotta go by what the white folks say? How to celebrate. How to be patriot. How come I can't tell you what a patriot is? And you listen to me and believe what you know. How come I can't tell? Because I might have wrote the rule and said, you know what? Standing on your head is patriotism. And everybody that don't stand on their head is not a patriot of the. How come I can't make the rule? How come you the only one get to make the rule? Who told you you were king and your rule is the only one that I should follow? You don't like it, get out of America. I ain't going nowhere. You didn't create this world. And you don't tell me where to go. Last time I checked, God said, the world belongs to me and all that is in it.
Thank you, God.
That's what he said in his word. So how you going to tell me to get out of something that you didn't even create? You go. I have a right to operate in power and dominion just like you do. I ain't finna argue with you. I'm just telling you I ain't going nowhere. And I'm going to preach the kingdom while I'm here. I'm going to preach the good news that Jesus, the Messiah, came and gave me access to this royal power. He's the door. And then when I get beyond the door, I'm not going to stay at the door bragging on the door. I'm going to operate in mine, baby.
Yeah.
Get on in there and move around and about the house. We won't stop there, and we'll pick it up next week. This kingdom message, this ain't for the squeamish. This kingdom message, this ain't for the squeamish. The squeamish should look away. You don't want to fool with this.
No, man. No.
You don't want to fool with this. You might just stay. You might ought to stay in your organization and stay with folk that got you hooping and hollering and dancing to hear a good message, when you yourself ought to be preaching and doing, operating, because that is demonstrated. It's preached and it is demonstrated in power. That's what I was trying to That's what I was trying to read before I shut this thing down.
See.
Because we just want to preach it. And you see that in Jesus. He preached it and he demonstrated it in power. That's what the kingdom of God is really all about. You know most folks ain't doing up but preaching. All they going to do is preach a good sermon a day and most folks headed out to get something to eat when it's over. And talk about how good the service was.
Hometown buffet.
That's out here.
Yeah.
Golden Corral backside. Piccadilly. Can't wait till you finish. Because they ain't going to go operating in this power.
It's packed.
We'll go over it next week. I'll highlight it. Thank you for joining and hope you learned something. Sorry for all the technical difficulties we had this morning. My media person, she tries. I love it.
Hey.
Thank you, baby. You do a great job. See y'all next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Love y'all.
Love everyone.